Today I am going to discuss Specific Relief Act 1963. This is a very exhaustive act. It is a branch of CPC. In this case, certain reliefs what a person specifically entitled to get from either immovable property or movable property, everything is enumerated in this act. So we will discuss the important aspect of this Specific Relief Act. Section 5 speaks of recovery of specific immovable property. When a person is dispossessed of any immovable property, any specific immovable property, how it will be recovered, that is given under Section 5 of this Act. That means a person entitled to possess of any specific immovable property which may recover it in the manner provided under 1968 1908 CPC. That means whatever the procedures that is given under Civil Procedure Code 1908 Act, everything is mentioned relating to specific immovable property, how it will be recovered under the specific, that is called Section 5. That means any property, how when there is a specific agreement or any agreement is made between the parties, how to recover that immovable property, that is given specifically. That property, whatever the matter of the agreement or contract, that will be recovered under Section 5. Now let us discuss another important suit by person dispossessed of immovable property, that is given under Section 6 of this Act. That means any person who has been dispossessed of any immovable property, that can be recovered by filing a suit. Any person who is dispossessed without consent of immovable property, he may by filing a suit recover possession thereof. That means for that a civil suit will be filed before the civil court for recovery of possession of any dispossessed immovable property. Any property he has been dispossessed by any person, somebody has ousted him from the property, that can be whatever the property that has been dispossessed, that can be brought out, or that can be brought out by filing a civil suit. So that is provision given under Section 6 of this Act. Now another provision, recovery of specific immovable property. Any contract or any agreement that is entered between the parties, between the seller and purchaser in relation to any specific property, how that will be recovered, all the procedures are given under Section 7 of this Act. That means a person entitled to possession of any specific movable property, he may recover the manner in the same manner whatever that is stipulated or mentioned in Civil Procedure Code. That means all the manners that is recovered, that is mentioned in Civil Procedure Code in relation to recovery of movable property, specific movable property, so that can be recovered under this provision, that is called Section 7 of the Act. Then another very important section, that is relating to specific performance of contract, when how it will be enforceable, that is specifically given under Section 10. When there is a contract between the two parties, and if one of the parties deviating from the terms and conditions of contract, how the terms and conditions of the contract in relation to sale or transfer, that is specifically that is to be enforced, how that will be enforced, all the procedures are given under Section 10 of this Act. So that is called specific performance of contract, how it will be enforceable. That means when a party to a contract unable to perform the whole of his part transaction or something is there, and if that transaction is complied in consonance with the terms and conditions of the agreement, that can be specifically performed by this contract, that is given under Section 10. Now let us discuss another very important aspect, specific performance of past contract. Any contract that is made and that has been not complied, so that is enumerated in Section 12 of the code relating to any past contract, how that will be enforced and how that will be executed. So that past contract for any immovable property, that can be enforced under this provision by filing a case under this provision of law of CPC, and that is under Section 12, so that the part contract can be performed specifically. So the main intention of this legislation or this section is that any contract which has been made between the party in past and that has not been enforced, so by applying this Section 12, a specific performance of part contract can also be made. So now let us discuss any important provision. Contract to sell by me by one who has no title. That is most specifically mentioned in Section 17 of the Act. When there is no title also, a person can sell a property. Suppose a power of attorney is delegated to a person who is, let us say, in the status of ostensible owner. He can also enter into a contract, and he can also sell by the person to, even though he has no title. That means it cannot be specifically enforceable, because once a person's title is not there, a specific performance of contract cannot be enforceable. That's why it is said that a contract to sell by one who has no title, that cannot be specifically enforceable, as the vendor has no title to the property. When there is no title to the property, specific performance of contract cannot be made, or it cannot be enforceable as per section 17 of this Act, Specific Relief Act. Now, we will discuss another important provision, discretion of court as to specific performance, that is given under section 20. The jurisdiction of decree specific performance of contract is discretionary power of the court. That means the court has got full ample discretion to pass any order. The court is not bound to grant relief, but on the direction of the order of the court, a reasonable order can be passed by guiding the judicial principle and capable of correction by court of appeal. That means any principle can be applied, which is in case of appeal, that is applied, and the principle of justice and the principle of whatever judicial principle, that is applied in passing the order in relation to the specific performance of contract, because the order passed by the court is discretionary power. So whatever the power that will be delegated by the court, that is discretionary power, and that can be done by using the due procedure of law and by judicial principle of law. So these are some of the discretion given to the courts. Courts mean the civil courts given under section 20 of this Act. So this is relating to some of the important aspect of specific performance of contract. Now we will come to the one of the important provision, power to award compensation in some of the cases, that is enumerated in section 21. In some of the cases, in a suit for specific performance of contract, the plaintiff may also claim for compensation. When a plaintiff has applied for a specific performance of a contract against the defendant, he can claim for the non-performance of contract by the defendant. The plaintiff can also claim compensation. So, because the defendant has breached or violated the terms and conditions given in the contract. So, when the defendant has breached the term and condition, the plaintiff has got option to claim compensation in the form of damage from the defendant for its breach. And the determination of amount shall be guided by section 73 of Indian Contract Act. Whatever this compensation that will be awarded, that will be discussed in consonance with section 73 of Indian Contract, and all the parameters and all the whatever the deviation from the original terms and conditions of contract by the defendant, that will be taken into consideration. What is the real sustained, what is the real loss sustained by the plaintiff, that will be counted. Accordingly, the compensation of damage, that will be decided by the court. So once the compensation and damage is decided, that is called award of the court. So power of award compensation in some of the cases, that is very much light with the power civil court. So these are some of the important aspects of Specific Relief Act in relation to specific performance of contract. When a contract, where the specific performance is the essence of the term and condition of contract, and that is not complied by the defendant, or any sort of breach that is made by the defendant, the alternative remedy available to claim damage or compensation by the plaintiff, and to seek the justice by applying all the rules and regulations and principles specified in Specific Relief Act 1963. So definitely it is very important branch of law. Of course, it is a branch of CPC. All the rules, procedures and the deciding factors are governed under CPC. That's why it plays a vital role in deciding all civil dispute. So this is in details of Specific Relief Act 1963 Act.